Okay, you know the feeling. We've all been there, right? You're trapped in a conversation that is going absolutely nowhere. You ask a question, you get a one-word answer, and then that awkward silence. It's frustrating, and honestly, it can feel like you're just bad at talking to people. But what if I told you it's not you? It's the questions you're asking. Let's dig in and see how one tiny shift can completely change your small talk game for good.
Does this look familiar? You're at a party, a work thing, maybe just meeting someone new, and the conversation just grinds to a halt. It feels like you're both stuck in conversational quicksand, and you have no idea how to get out.
Ah, the classic. How was your weekend? Good. Or even worse, was your weekend good? Yep. And that's it. It is the absolute king of conversational dead ends. You were trying to be nice, but you've been given absolutely nothing to work with. It's a total conversation killer.
So what is actually going on here? Well, this problem has a name, and it's called the binary trap. And here's the good news. Once you can see it and name it, you can learn to step right over it. This isn't about a personal failing. It's about accidentally using the wrong tool for the job.
So a binary question is exactly what it sounds like. It's any question that basically only has two possible answers, usually yes or no, good or bad. When you ask one, you're not really starting a conversation. You're accidentally giving the other person an escape hatch. You're giving them permission to stop talking. You've closed the door before they even had a chance to tell you what's inside. And once you start looking for them, you see these questions everywhere. We use them all the time without even realizing it. Do you like your job? Was the conference busy? Is the food any good? Each one is a potential conversation ender. We think we're opening a door, but really, we're just asking if the door's locked and then walking away. I love this analogy. Think about it. You would never, ever go to Google, type the word yes into the search bar, and expect it to give you a fascinating documentary. It's just not enough information. So why do we ask people questions that are just as limiting and then get disappointed when we don't get an interesting story back?
Okay, so we've identified the problem. We know what the binary trap is. So what's the cure? Well, it's a really simple but powerful technique called open-ended precision. And it's a way to ask questions that don't just get you an answer, they get you a story. The formula here is actually beautiful in its simplicity. You just start with an open-ended word like how, what, or even the phrase, tell me about. Then, and this is the really important part, you add a specific detail to give them a clear starting point. You're not just opening the door anymore. You're pointing to something really interesting on the other side.
Let's see how this works in the real world. So instead of asking, was the conference busy, which, just gets you a yeah or a no, try asking, what was the most surprising thing you heard at the conference today? See the difference? That question invites a story, an opinion, a real human experience. You're going to get so much more out of that. Okay, here's another one. Do you like living here? That's a total binary trap. But what if you asked, how does living here compare to the last place you stayed? Boom. Now you're not asking for a thumbs up or thumbs down. You're asking for their perspective, for a comparison, for an actual story. The logic here is so simple, it's almost like talking to a kid. If you ask a 5-year-old, is your toy cool? They'll just nod and say, yep. But if you lean in and ask, what is the coolest thing your toy can do? Their whole face lights up. They can't wait to show you all the buttons and secret features. We're really not that different. Ask us for the coolest thing and we're excited to share it. So when you get right down to it, it's about this choice. Are you giving the other person a multiple choice test, or are you handing them a blank canvas? One feels like a quiz, it's limiting. But the other is an invitation to create something with you, to paint a picture of their world. Now, understanding this stuff is one thing, but actually turning it into a habit, that's the real trick. So let's make it a game. Here's a super simple 3-day challenge you can try to build this muscle in totally low-stakes situations. Okay, here we go. Start on easy mode. For just 3 hours, try to start every single question with the word what. Just see what happens. Then, when you're ready, level up to medium mode. Try swapping a question for the phrase, tell me about. It feels less like an interrogation and more like an invitation. And finally, for the real challenge mode. Find a specific detail, a pin on their jacket, the book they're holding, and build a great open-ended question around it. So the whole point of all this is pretty simple. It's not about memorizing clever lines. It's just about making one small shift. Stop asking questions that can be shut down with a single word. The second you ditch the binary trap, you unlock a whole world of deeper, more interesting, and just generally more fun conversations. Look, every single person you meet is walking around with 1,000 stories just waiting to be told. The right question is the key that unlocks them. So the only question left for you is, what's the first story you're going to unlock?